What's up, Sneaker World? It's Austin. We back at it, April 19th. Still quarantined. How you doing, Parker?
Still stuck inside.
Yep.
You know, nothing, not a whole lot is new. Just trying to watch everything I can, just
Dude,
absorb all the crap.
I mean, at least we can look forward to people at least talking about maybe things coming back. Golf.
Yeah.
NASCAR.
It's the weirdest thing sitting here going, please talk about it maybe coming back.
Yeah, I'm excited for the draft this week. We're going to be together watching that live.
Yeah.
I know that.
That'll be pretty fun to watch.
Um,
Especially when we watch a couple Ducks get drafted. Whoop, whoop.
And, you know, I think what I think is most exciting, too, is people are buying into this year's draft a little bit more just because it's live and it's something new.
Absolutely.
So it's something to talk about.
Something else everyone's talking about is the Michael Jordan documentary. It's
Dude.
It's on right now,
As we speak, yeah,
But
we're missing it.
but we're talking to each other
Doing
instead.
this for the fans.
The fans. We're doing this for you people.
Yeah, we're doing it for you guys.
Are you excited about this thing?
Dude, I'm so excited. Mainly, first of all, because I was kind of upset because when this first, when the news of this documentary released, it was supposed to be ESPN Plus,
Yeah, it was supposed
And-
to be ESPN Plus only.
and it made sense due to how everything is these days with subscription-based
Yeah.
platforms. But the fact that they're just throwing it on ESPN for us to watch.
Did you see that they have a censored and an uncensored version? And if you watch ESPN2, you can watch the censored version.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna watch.
Which
the
makes me
uncensored.
curious what the hell is going to be on the uncensored version.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, Jordan fought
It's
people. in
Disney,
practice.
so they're not going to do they're not going to show like boobs and F-bombs. It's going to be like, I think you're going to get the occasional shit.
Well, yeah, and I think it's also they have like I'm sure game audio.
Yeah. People
that-
going to drop N-bombs? You think Disney's going to show an N-bomb?
No, I think it's more like PG-13 thing.
Hey, even PG-13 allows one F-word.
Yeah, but they don't allow the N-word, bro.
They
Come on.
definitely do not. That's still not allowed.
Come on. I mean, you brought that up. But as far as like it being dropped, but is what I mean though is like I think that there's gonna be swear words. There's gonna be coaches being like, "Man, you couldn't fucking guard that guy." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna be like, "Man, that guy fucking sucked." You know, like I don't think it's gonna
not
be like
be that bad.
Yeah, but I mean, Michael
I'm
Jordan.
still just curious because
Michael-
they're dedicating a whole part of their network to it, to an uncensored or to a censored version,
Dude.
which makes me wonder how bad is the regular.
Well, I think it's too that this is kind of one of the biggest documentaries we've seen in a long time. I
That's
mean,
pretty
people
huge.
can argue Tiger King, people can argue blah blah blah, but I mean,
But Tiger King was a sleeper, man. It was something that they put out there like,
Well,
we'll see if people like
I'm
this.
just
And
talking
everyone's
about
like,
I'm
"No,
talking
no,
about
no."
like his viewers numbers. Like viewer
Yeah.
numbers, Tiger King was watched across the world. You know, this one's gonna be bigger, and I'll put money on that just because it's Michael Jordan and
well,
it's the
and
Bulls.
ESPN's more accessible to people than Netflix.
And what I'm also like on top of all that, it's Michael Jordan.
Well, and that's what I was getting is that the Tiger King thing, they put it out, and no one knew what the hell it was. That was a pure like word of mouth like firestorm that
We've
spread.
known about this for like a year.
We've known about this Jordan documentary for a hot minute, and we've been
Mhm.
excited about it for a hot minute.
Mhm.
The Tiger documentary thing was like, I didn't even really hear about it until you told me, and now I can't unsee memes that are happening every day. So I think there's a difference there. I think this year, I think you're right. This is going to be the most watched documentary maybe ever.
Yeah, and one thing that I find most interesting about this documentary is that Jordan had the rights to release or not release this.
I like that.
And that means that there's stuff in this documentary, at least we'd all hope so, that we've never seen or heard
We've
of.
never seen. Yeah.
And that brings interest into, I mean, I know we've talked about this on this podcast, but for maybe new listeners, I'm 9 years younger than Parker is.
He's a little younger.
So you've seen things in sports,
I've seen a
as far
couple
as
things.
Jordan and whatnot, that I haven't. This documentary is going to be watched by everyone,
Everyone.
as far as people that saw Jordan come into the league and go out of the league to people like me who have never seen Jordan play live. I
Yeah.
was alive when Jordan was playing. I was born in 97, people. Don't get on me. However,
You
and
saw
I
him for a
don't
little bit. You more
I don't-
probably remember his Wizards days than
exactly.
his Bulls
yeah,
days.
I don't
yeah.
remember actually seeing him play. Actually,
I remember.
If I'm being honest.
I remember the back half of his Bulls days, like his second three-peat. I remember that more than I remember the first half of it.
Yeah, and I don't remember him play at all. I'll admit that, but I've seen everything.
Yeah.
The internet makes everything accessible.
Yeah, I've got access to that footage.
And this, I'm so excited because I want to see like these like teammate interviews, coaches interviews. Maybe they bring
Yeah.
fans in. Maybe we see game highlights that aren't shown that much.
I just hope they don't ham it up and have like some crap or some I can already picture it now. It's like this slight panning camera. This guy's like, Michael Jordan was the best in the world. And it's going to superimpose highlights of him dunking and things like that.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
unstoppable. It's like this terrible narrator. Like, I want it to feel more real than half of the other ESPN documentaries.
And I think they will because they aren't shy in the 30 for 30s.
yeah, they do
They're
some
not
they do some bold stuff.
They're not afraid to be like, yeah, he did this.
They do all kind of have the same tone though.
Oh,
And is this technically a 30 for 30?
No, because it's so long.
It's 10 parts and they're airing them 2 at a time.
Yep.
That's kind of cool. I like that they're airing them 2 at a time.
I like that they're airing them 2 at a time, and I also like
the binge age. Give that shit to me now.
binge age, man. I like that binge age. I know. I've watched 3 seasons of Wicked Tuna, dude.
Dude, you're fucking out of it.
I know. If I don't care what anyone says, watch Wicked Tuna.
Never
Listeners.
more has someone been prepared to deal with the trials of the sea than AJ after 3 seasons of Wicked Tuna.
I'm ready to catch one. I'm ready.
I'm sure there's a place in Boston where you can pay some guy to take you out on a
Gloucester,
boat.
Massachusetts. No, no, but I'm just saying, like, that's a really great point. The binge age.
Yeah.
My question though is, obviously, I'm sure ESPN will put this on ESPN Plus or some sort of thing like that. But
Yeah.
are people that maybe don't have cable anymore? Like,
It's going to Netflix. So if it's on ESPN
Okay.
today.
Yep.
Tomorrow it will be on Netflix.
Really? Like the episodes that aired today.
Yep.
It's not going to be on Hulu?
Not that I know of, but I mean it might be.
Interesting.
But I just heard that it was going to be, first day the primary air will be ESPN. The next day it'll be on Netflix.
Good.
So episodes 1 and 2 will be on Netflix tomorrow. Episodes 3 and 4 will be on Netflix next Sunday
Next week,
or next
yeah.
Monday or whatever it is. But
Good.
yeah.
Oh, that was honestly, you answered my question.
So if you're a streamer, you'll be able to get to it, but not before the memes get to your phone. You'll be seeing something on one of your pages tonight, and you'll go, "Damn it, kind of ruined that."
Yeah, and I think something I'm more interested in is I hope that ESPN includes everything. I don't want to just
Don't
hear
leave
about
it out,
Michael.
yeah.
I want to hear what maybe his teammates that didn't like him thought. I want to hear maybe what the rival teams in MJ. And we're both from living in Portland.
Yeah.
Right now. Get Clyde on there. Get someone from that.
Let's get the.
I want to hear
yeah.
people from different championships that had to play against him. What did they think going into these games? And obviously it's going on right now, so we don't have to be recording this, and we could be getting these answers.
We could
But
be having the answer.
this is a 10-part series.
I'm gonna watch it later though.
Yeah, this is a 10-part series, and I don't want to hear just about how great he was because that's what we've been arguing about for the last 20 years.
Well, I mean, so the fact of the matter is that I don't think this is a Michael Jordan documentary. I think this is a documentary about that year of the Bulls, or I think I don't remember if it's the 97-98 or the 96-97, but it's that year of the Bulls. It's just, Jordan's just such a huge point. Things like, even I just a few minutes ago called it, not just now, but early at the beginning of the show, I called it a Michael Jordan documentary.
Well, it is.
It's because that's what you're seeing. You're seeing all these things are coming out now. How do you feel about the information that's been put out that Michael agreed to release this footage during the Cavs parade?
Yeah, dude, I hate that because it's only playing into this whole
LeBron v. Cavs?
Yeah,
Or LeBron v. Jordan? Sorry.
Exactly. That's all that is.
Do you think that's on purpose? Do you think that whether Jordan said it, whether the league says it, or whether LeBron says it, do you think it's on purpose?
It's a blind. You're blind if you think it wasn't.
Yeah. They're 100%. This is done to rile y'all folk up.
Oh yeah, and
If you're getting riled up, congratulations, you're part of the system.
Parker and I have been in many arguments, and I don't want people to be fooled. I don't think that everything is systemic, and Parker doesn't think everything is
Not
systemic.
everything. No.
I'm not putting that on him. I just think that we've had systemic arguments about is the league trying to do this, is the league not? And I'm not going to put those topics into the air because
We'll do that. We'll do that another week.
We'll do that another week.
Because we'll get into conspiracy week.
Oh,
We'll
man.
talk about our favorite conspiracy theories, both sports and otherwise.
Yeah, that's something for another day. However, this is to a certain extent, of course something was going to come out that's going to make more people watch this.
Absolutely.
And do I think LeBron is the greatest player of all time? Yes. Did I watch Jordan play? No. So
That makes sense.
Am I excited to see maybe more background stuff of Jordan to give me a better view on it? Hell yeah, because I've seen all the highlights. I've watched LeBron play. Is this going to give me a different view? 100%. I hope so, which might make my argument either weaker or stronger.
It's funny because I think in 20 years, if you show somebody the highlight of Kawhi's shot,
Oh yeah.
they're not going to have nearly the reaction that you had watching it live.
Oh no, and you don't even have that reaction on the replay.
Like even when I watch it now, I'm like, damn, that was good. But at the moment, I'm not even a Raptors fan. I leapt out of my seat like, whoa.
Well, you don't even know if it's going in, and when he shoots,
I jumped when it hit the first part of the rim because I thought it was immediately going
Yeah.
to go in, and then it didn't. I just kind of did this little cringe, like, oh god, it's not going.
Do you want to hear something shitty?
What's that?
I didn't watch it live.
Well, I watched it live. But did you see LeBron's chase down
I-
block live?
Well, okay, hold on. Hold
Okay.
on. Back down. I saw it 5 seconds after it happened live. I was in the shower. And I heard my
came out and watched the
roommate,
replay?
his name's Coco. I was drying off, and I hear him go, holy shit. And I was like, what's going on? And so I come out of the bathroom. He's like, you got to watch this. And so he rewinded it. So he was like, I watched it live.
Kinda.
So,
yeah.
but I'll never forget hearing a reaction and being like, okay, like, what is this?
Also, why the fuck were you deciding to shower with? Because I'm assuming you went in with 3 minutes left in the tight game.
Yeah.
5 minutes left in the tight game.
It was
You were
early.
like, I don't really care about this that much, and walked off.
I don't care about those teams. If I was
just
being
knew it was
honest,
gonna be good.
because like
I don't care about those
the-
teams either.
You know the Blazers Warriors series, like that wasn't a good series, unfortunately for us. This one going to 7 was big, but it was
Yeah.
almost like with the I didn't care, and so I just happened to be like, I'm gonna shower, and honestly I don't
A
remember.
lot of people in the world missed out on it live.
I think I was doing something that night, or like I
Probably.
was just trying to shower, and I just remember being so upset that I missed it. I saw it live, or I saw like I consider seeing it live because I didn't know what happened before I watched it.
well, but the thing is, you knew something happened.
I knew something
That's
happened.
pretty
of course.
big.
But when that shot went up, I was like, no way, because it goes bounce, 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 bounce in.
Yeah.
And I think even comparing that moment to this 10-part docuseries is
Well, my point about that was that if you didn't, in 20 years, if you're trying to describe that to someone
Yeah.
or you show them the highlight,
Yeah.
they're not going to have any reaction.
No.
Even now, with you being a younger person who never watched Jordan live,
yeah.
even now, if we go and show you this, 10-part Bulls documentary series, you're still not going to have that feeling of the guy who it's like of like my dad who watched Jordan hit that fadeaway.
Oh yeah.
For like it's
across the middle, the
like
game winner.
we're never
yeah.
we're never gonna have those feelings for that or for that stuff and that's what I mean is like this is gonna make people go, oh yeah, he's good, like who didn't 100% believe it but always knew him to be the GOAT, but it's not gonna convince anybody
Well, as
who
devil's
isn't already convinced.
so as devil's advocate, let me ask you this:
Mm.
what? And I'm playing. I'm gonna. This is more. I need your answer because I don't
Yeah.
have one here.
Sure.
As someone that might have lived the end of his era,
Yeah.
what do you want to see from this that might not already be out there? Because there's obviously all of the Jordan talk. We've seen all the highlights. We've heard from him. He owns a damn team now, and he owns as a sneaker show. We know
Yeah.
some of the sneakers he's released are the hottest things ever. What are we gonna see?
Or you're going to see behind the scenes stuff. That's what you always see with these things. The stuff that you didn't see then or you haven't seen. You're going to see practices. You're going to see traveling. You're going to see hotel rooms. You're going to see things like that. And, of course, you're going to hear chatter that you never heard.
Bro, we want to hear the
Dude,
Jordan chatter.
I tell people all the time, like, games nowadays, you'll be watching LeBron. I remember watching the finals a couple years ago, and there was
Which
ran
one?
a couple plays. I think it was
Was it
Warriors
the-
Cavs.
Yep. of
And they call the timeout. And then they're going to the highlights. And they're like, oh, let's go take a listen to him on the court. And it's showing you what these
Yeah.
people were saying to each other or what the bench was saying to the floor. And in my head, I'm like, dude, no one had that in like the late 90s.
really cool.
No one was doing that.
It's really
so you
cool.
had no clue what Jordan was saying to Pippen. Or every once in a while you get a coach thing. So you might hear what, coach was saying to the players during a timeout.
Yeah.
But you would never hear what the players were doing. The parabolic mics are way different now. So
Yeah.
that's the stuff you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear that's the stuff that I want to hear. I want to hear all the behind the scenes stuff. I want to hear practices. I want to see Michael Jordan be the asshole that we all know he really is.
Exactly.
Because he demands a high standard.
And a lot of people compared Kobe to Jordan just because of his
Because he took all his moves.
quote assholeness.
Yeah.
Like Jordan fought someone in practice, and so has Kobe. This is super random, but I love bringing this up. Do you know who fought someone in college in a practice, literally punched them in the face?
Who?
Steve Blake. at Maryland.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's so funny to me. Like no one, it never surprises anybody, but nobody knows that.
Well, it's because Steve Blake seems like he's an asshole.
Oh yeah. Well, have you seen him play basketball? He literally tries to out hustle everybody, but he's this white point guard, and he does a great job of it. Don't get me wrong.
He does an all right job of it. If he did a great job, he'd be a Hall of Famer.
No, don't get me. You're right. You're 100% right on that. However, Steve Blake was a great player, and I love this competitive edge he brings.
That's fair.
But I only bring this up, and it actually bolsters my point. Jordan was another level. And I know I'm comparing him to Steve Blake.
Yeah.
Let's think about Kobe. Jordan was another level. And it was also another level because I don't think the basketball – it's hard to compare Jordan to LeBron, Jordan to Kobe, blah, 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 because Jordan was something that the NBA had never seen before.
They had never seen it in that size. They had seen Magic. They had seen Kareem. They had seen Bill Russell. They had seen these
Oscar
big
Robinson.
dudes. I see Oscar Robinson was not that
Bill
big
Russell.
Dude.
Well, Bill Russell.
Bill Russell was a big dude.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm only adding to your point. Like they'd seen all these players. Add Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan just did it night in, night out, every way possible. He was fantastic. But yeah, I'm excited to see this behind the scenes stuff. I want to see him.
Okay.
I want to see him giving interviews at his house, or like I said, in his hotel room, or I want to see the because cameras are following these people for years.
Oh, years.
And we've seen very little of that footage. I hope we get to see it all, man.
I hope, as a younger guy, I hope we get to see some things that maybe make Jordan not invincible. Because
You want to see flu game, Jordan?
I want to see Jordan fuck up. Because no one talks about that. Today's media, even Steph Curry, is touchable. Everyone is touchable in today's game.
Well, what's touchable about Steph Curry?
He's small. He can be controlled. We've seen him. My favorite Steph Curry touchable moment is him switching because he didn't want to guard Fred VanVleet last year in the finals. Steph Curry, the unanimous MVP, can't guard Fred VanVleet. Come on, like that's. It might have been.
But I think you're talking about more of an intangible. Like,
yeah,
like
100%.
what was the thing that Jordan struggled with?
Exactly.
Not necessarily Steph Curry one time choosing. I think your argument would be more along the lines of Steph Curry's got weak ankles. That's an argument against Steph Curry.
Dude, you nailed that. I didn't.
We have
say
to find
that
out
right.
what Jordan's Achilles heel was. What if you find out there isn't one?
But see, there has to be because.
Yeah, you think there would be because the internet's so great at pointing out everybody else's, and they haven't gotten a chance to get a hold of this guy.
So maybe there isn't. But that's.
I'll say, what if we watch this and we go, damn,
But
that dude's just good.
More my point, I don't want this documentary to glorify Jordan episode after episode because no one, and I don't give a what anyone says, no one's perfect. Nobody.
No.
LeBron ain't perfect.
I guarantee if you asked Jordan at that time, he wouldn't say he was perfect.
Exactly. And that's the competitor mentality. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. But I want to see that. I want to see
But
Jordan.
you're talking about like a deficit versus a true knock. Like Jordan could have done better at free throws. Everyone knows that. Jordan could have done better at free throws.
But yeah.
Jordan's 3-point shooting percentage was okay.
Wasn't a huge
it
part
wasn't
of that
great.
game,
It wasn't a huge part of that style of play. It was still during the 3-point era, well into it, but it wasn't huge. But it wasn't great. It wasn't nearly as good as some of the people playing around him at the exact same time.
Yeah.
But those things are things that you can work on. You can work on your free throws. You can work on this. LeBron crying for fouls, that's the thing people will knock him for nowadays. LeBron's a whiner. He's a complainer. He fires his coaches and gets super teams.
Yeah.
Like, those things are not intangibles.
No.
That's something that he's specifically doing and putting out there in the world. You know, when you talk about the other great players right now, you know, Anthony Davis, you know, is holding out. You know, he's a bitch because he didn't want to play for the Pelicans anymore because he wanted to go play for his homeboy. You know, Russell Westbrook is a complainer. James Harden travels all the time. These are integral parts of their game. They're things that they can't change because if they change them, they're not them anymore.
No. And Kevin Durant, I don't want to get this wrong. I believe I read a quote that said Kevin Durant said that Michael Jordan would still be the best player in the league.
Yeah,
if he played today. You saw that too? Okay. Whew.
They said, how would he fit in with today's league?
Yeah.
He's like, because he'd be the best player in the league.
Exactly. Okay, I'm glad it was him that said that because
Yeah.
I thought. So we obviously.
I think it's fair.
It's very fair.
I
Now-
don't see anything in the games that I watched when I was younger and the games that I've watched when I was older that tells me that Michael Jordan couldn't be massively successful now.
You just said that.
The perfect way.
I love arguing with people, and you can attest to that. I will challenge people, and you will too.
Yeah.
Because it never hurts to, if someone has an opinion, why do you have that? I want to hear it.
Yeah.
You said that perfectly because I can't challenge you. Michael Jordan, Like, we can't say he'd be the best player.
He would be successful though.
He would be very successful.
And that's why
No
when people
one's
say
questioning
that's why when people say like, "Oh, take LeBron, put him back," then and it's like,
He
yeah,
would
he's
be
still going to be
successful.
successful.
He'd be easily.
Would he be a 10-time NBA All-Star? I don't know. But is he gonna get his nut? Yeah, he's gonna be fine.
He's gonna be fine.
He's gonna lead some team. You know, he might, even if he's a 2-piece on a team, he's still gonna be a big piece regardless. However, you take a guy like Harden. Is
Well-
Harden going to be successful then? I don't know.
Well, you take a team like the 70-71 Bucks and put them up against like a 80-81 or 85-86 Celtics team.
Yeah.
You know, different games.
Very different games.
15 years later.
Pre-free throw or pre-3-point, after 3-point. Yeah.
So we're obviously dealing with different games, physicality, and obviously people bring that into
But we're
account.
talking, everything's pretty much the same.
Just look at a player's intangibles.
It's just, yeah.
Jordan literally played off-ball basketball just as well, I feel like, as people do in today's league.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He moves like Steph Curry moves, but he did it back then.
I think he moves more like a Dwayne Wade.
That's fair.
He
that's
moves
fair.
off ball.
Yeah.
He has great vision.
I guess they ISO Jordan a lot too.
That's why I compared him more to a Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, that's
Obviously,
fair.
like a Kobe.
Yeah.
He had a lot of on-ball activity, but he didn't necessarily need the ball to be effective.
Oh, he could punish you without having the ball in his hand.
And this is obviously not new information to anybody.
No one's surprised.
However, I just don't want to watch something that I've already seen.
Well, there's no way they're going to fill 10 hours of your time
Bro,
with stuff you haven't seen.
Exactly. And I'm 22. And that's why I'm frustrated because, like, I didn't get to see him live.
Yeah.
And this has to do with hockey. Please, people, don't come at my head.
They might.
But the other day, I watched a 2000-2001 Game 2 of a Stanley Cup between the Avalanche were in it. It's my favorite team. Who cares? But it was one of those things where I know the Avalanche win that cup. I never saw that game, though.
Yeah.
I watched the 1997 Masters final round the other day. I know Tiger Woods wins that.
Yeah.
I never saw it live.
Yeah.
I want this documentary to do that same thing, where I want them to show me stuff that maybe people of my generation, even yours,
Yeah.
that just, like, opens our eyes. Because Jordan is so well documented that it's so easy for them to fuck this up, I think.
I think it's one. I think it's too big to fail. I think it's too
It's not
much
gonna
hype.
fail. It's
Too,
not
too
gonna
much.
fail.
Yeah. Even if they show, 8 hours of old footage, just kind of
Reminiscence,
repurposed
yeah,
in 2 hours of new footage, people are gonna eat it. People are gonna buy that so hard, about as hard as they can. I'm not over it, man. It's
I'm
gonna be great.
interested to put Jordan in the social media spotlight.
Well, dude, he's been.
This is the first time.
What could get worse than being a crying Jordan meme?
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
you're right.
Or hold on. What are those?
What are the? However,
he's been in two. He's made his rounds on the internet.
You
twice.
have, but not his game.
Not
his game during his game.
That's a great point. Harden's been in the spotlight for let me take 10, 20, 30 steps back. LeBron's been in the spotlight for yelling at JR in that face that he makes.
Dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And Jordan has been. He owns one of the worst NBA teams.
I don't understand why he still
I-
owns that team. Are the Bulls just not letting him buy a piece?
I don't know.
Is that what's happening? Bulls, get on your crap, man.
Yeah,
let this
what?
guy back in.
Yo, you retired his number. He won you 6 championships.
Guarantee Jordan wants a part of that franchise. Let the man live. Unless he just
Exactly.
really likes golf. He does like golfing.
He
though.
does like golfing, and also
Carolinas
if
aren't bad.
we're gonna compare it, I mean, who knows where the show is going at this point? But Derek Jeter owns the Marlins. Like, where did that come from?
And being fair, Jordan, he went to North Carolina, so he's got ties to that
Charlotte.
area.
Yeah,
He's got
he-
ties to the area. But still, let my man take 10% of the
I
team.
did think it was cool that Nike let them be the only Jordan team. That was really cool.
Used to.
Well, used to.
Yeah, now you have Michigan. You have
No. I'm talking NBA.
Oh yeah.
Only
oh
in,
yeah.
in the
I thought you meant college. I was like,
No. Well, yeah, I knew when you said that. I knew where you were going.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah, no, yeah.
the
Charlotte's
Hornet
Buzz City, baby.
Hornet wears the 11s.
Yeah.
They wear the Concords. I think it's the Concords. It's a very simple 11 to wear.
A couple of them have worn.
But it's just I think he wears the Concords. They have the Jordan symbol instead of the Nike one on their jerseys.
It's the same jersey, just with a Jordan symbol on it.
Exactly. And even though that's like not huge, That is very huge if
Well,
you think about it.
I mean, the shoes part doesn't matter anymore because everyone can wear whatever the hell they want. But the jersey part, sure, you slap a Jordan logo on it. That's pretty cool. And if you're a player, you get to go talk to, and maybe you don't get to do it every day, but you can talk to your boss, Michael Jordan. That's not too shabby a deal.
Now, I'm going to kind of change. This isn't changing topics at all.
Okay.
But I'm going to go a different way with this. Is Jordan one of those people who's a better player than his coach?
A better player than his coach?
No, better player than he is a coach.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I don't think that's necessarily a hot take. I think it's more we see that because he runs an organization and they suck.
Well, he owns.
Well, if you're telling me Jordan doesn't get to say what's... I mean, Kemba left a Jordan organization. The greatest player...
Kemba got lured in by a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, and I know he did. But, like, if Jordan was a good coach, a good mentor... I mean, Charlotte isn't anything more than Portland is as far as a city.
Except for being on the East Coast. That's a pretty big deal.
It is
a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, that is. I'll give you that. And I'm just trying to say, like, Dame is solidified here, and he doesn't have Jordan. And I'm honestly saying this to get people riled up because I know people aren't going to necessarily agree with me, but I know that Jordan, if Jordan was all that he was, why can't he lead an organization?
The problem is that he's an owner. He's not a leader. He's not a CFO. He's not a CEO. He's not a manager. He's none of that crap. He just gives them money. He just invested money and owns a portion and has to raise his hand at chairman meeting and things like that.
Yeah, but he hires the GM. He hires the coach, and if he doesn't like something, he can definitely change that. And I know that the GM and the coach
him and the board hire the coaches.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying that, like,
and he's still got a minority stake. It's not like he's a majority shareholder in this team.
It just blows my mind that the Hornets haven't even made the playoffs since he owned them.
There's a lot going on.
So, yeah, there's a lot going on. But I want to – I know we're not going to see any of this. I know. But this – I feel like something this far into the future that everyone listening to this has seen we should see where this all stemmed from him as a player. Was he not a great leader? He was just a great player.
Absolutely. I think that's exactly where you're going to go with all this. I think it's the same reason that people talk about Kobe and,
horrible leader.
He was never the guy.
No.
Like, he could teach you, but you got to be ready to get taught.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's how it is. A lot of guys aren't ready to get taught that way. They're not ready to get, I read all these things all the time about, Kobe broke one of his players' fingers because every time he would hold his hand up, he would slam the ball into his hand and jam and break his fingers. And he's like, that's the kind of guy he was. He was going to teach you a lesson about how to be better. Some people aren't willing to receive that lesson. I think Michael Jordan's the same way. I think while they were great players and they were fantastic, on court, that doesn't mean they're great people. That being said, Kobe's done a lot more towards the people route than Jordan ever did.
Okay.
That's a learn from a mistake opportunity.
And I actually will argue that only because of what Jordan has done through the shoe game. Because I feel like Kobe did more WNBA because of his daughters. He won an Emmy for his poem thing. I don't know what you want to call that.
He's won a bunch of awards for writing and things like that.
Jordan inspired and changed a culture.
Well,
it was different ways. Yeah, he was the first one to do it, and he's just a part of Nike now because he's the chairman and owner of Jordan Brand. I mean, who's surprised there? No one. Yeah, everyone knows this. Being a part of that is something that can't be unspoken about, and this is kind of going away from the documentary. However, it's not because this is who Jordan is. Jordan is a businessman, just like Kobe, just like LeBron. I mean, it honestly bothers me that people don't view these people as normal people and businessmen because they honestly realize that smart athletes, football, hockey, baseball, basketball, understand that sports aren't their life. And Jordan did that, and he saw that right after basketball, he capitalized on this shoe thing. What's crazy to me, though, to think about, because I wasn't alive, is how this shoe game blew up during all this.
But the problem is that if you think that this was Jordan's idea,
No, yeah, it's not.
It
No,
was
yeah.
Nike's idea. You know, it was Tinker Hatfield who took the swoosh off the shoe.
Yep.
All right, that was unheard of.
Unheard of.
Unheard of. All right,
Put the Jumpman.
Yeah, he put the Jumpman on the shoe. That was a big deal. So that was a Nike guy who took the swoosh off. All right, that all went that way because of this. He had to be the pilot. He was the face of it. He was the face of all, but that doesn't mean that he's any sort of real driving force. You think Jordan's proving all these colorways that come out? You think Jordan's
No.
approving Russell Westbrook's new signature shoe? No way in hell he has
But
he has very
back
little to do with
then,
it.
but back then, what I'm saying though is that like, as far as like obviously like the Jordan brand, back then he had say in all of his shoes.
Well, he had say the way that LeBron does now. So LeBron did a live thing on Instagram the other day, and somebody was asking him about, like, he was showing off a bunch of shoes that he had, a bunch of samples.
Quick sidebar. Are you talking about when he released those playoff shoes?
No, before this.
okay,
This was like that was like this week. Or
Yeah,
this past couple
sorry,
days.
I was just wondering.
Before that and
Yeah.
after he did like the showing off the Oregon shoe thing. But he was talking to people and they're like, how does it work? He's like, man, they just send me 100 pairs of shoes and I pick which one I want to wear.
Yeah.
That's his extent. He's not choosing what they're releasing.
Which is
he's
why-
just saying, I'm just gonna pick this shoe. I think Jordan did the same thing, man. They sent him a bunch of shoes and he was like, I'm gonna wear those tonight.
I'm gonna have to go against you on that one as far because
Maybe they'll show us.
I see. I hope so, and I
Maybe
hope
they'll show us a little
Dude.
interaction of Jordan brand and Jordan, man.
Oh, that would be so fucking cool.
There might be a
so
lot of this that's
cool.
gonna draw off my interest, but that would be like, ooh,
Dude, that
tuned
would be
in now.
so cool. And but I only think that though because of what Nike is today, and Nike is nothing without the progression of ads because of their ad agency and
Yeah.
you know what's their name ad agency. Who is the Nike ad agency? It's the famous.
Oh my gosh.
I
know that they have their own
brain
company
fart.
that does it.
My family is literally family friends with them. Why can't I think of this?
We'll figure
It'll
it out
come back.
later.
It'll
Yeah.
come back. But what I'm saying though is that Jordan got to pick what was on his feet because it even goes to the band ones. Jordan wanted to wear those.
Yeah.
I think it's even. I want to see more of what Jordan did. I don't want to. I know his work ethic was incredible, and I know that he wanted to do everything to win a championship. He left basketball. He came back to it. We all know the Jordan story. I want to see the stuff outside of basketball that made Jordan who he was inside of basketball.
Sure.
Nike / now Jordan, but Nike.
I think at the time it was Jordan. Like I think that they had already segmented so if I can't remember what the year this is. I don't know if it's 95, 96, 96, 97, but either way you're talking about either the Jordan 11 or the Jordan 12. So he's already 11, 12 signature models in. Just for reference, when Kobe retired, he was on his like 12th model.
Well, let me ask you this: have you
11th.
ever seen the final minute of Jordan's national championship with North Carolina?
Have you
watched the final minute of that game?
I'm sure I have.
Okay.
I think I know what I'm saying. I think I know what you're talking about. I've definitely seen it. It's popped up 1,000 times, being all the other things.
This
around.
isn't part of the documentary, but it's Jordan, and why not?
And it's 14, 13 years.
Do you
12
know?
years
Do you
removed
know
from
how
that.
he won that game?
Hustle and heart?
Well, no. Like, do you know how that game was won? I should not Jordan. I said that wrong. Do you know how that game was finished? I saw
no,
that.
I'm
I
trying
saw
to see
this.
what you're getting at.
Yeah, I know you're trying to see what I'm getting at, and it's kind of part of the point. But
Teammates.
that game was won because the point guard for the other team, and I'm sorry I don't remember the actual team,
Yeah.
threw it literally directly to a North Carolina player
That
who
happens.
wasn't. He thought it was his own player, and he just passed it to him.
That happens.
It's just, but no one talks about it. Everyone talks about.
But how many people actually talk about Jordan's North Carolina days anyways?
You're not wrong, but it's one of
Yeah.
those things where it's like. You love to talk about how LeBron was a celebrity before he was an NBA player.
Before he was an NBA player, yeah. Not before he was a basketball player, before he was an NBA player.
Yeah. I love that argument honestly because you're not wrong.
Oh, he was huge before he ever stepped foot on an NBA court.
And this was back 02, 03.
Yeah.
One of my close friends, I actually introduced him to Parker. His name's Craig. We're gonna have him on the podcast here not too long,
Yeah,
but
soon.
he is one of the head Nike shoe designers. He grew up in Ohio, and he was an 8th grader when LeBron was a senior.
Yeah.
He said that getting a ticket, and I'm not making this up. He said getting a ticket to a high school Akron basketball game was like getting a ticket to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He said it was so hard.
It's massive. They had to
Gyms,
move their games to like a community college to get
big
more seats.
More seats.
And then they had to move them again to an even bigger arena
And
to get more
obviously,
seats.
This was all because of LeBron. We know that. And I know this was happening with Jordan. I know it was.
It was not.
No. I'm not the celebrity level. I'm
Oh.
talking about like people knew Jordan was good. I want to see like what people like Jordan's idolization today obviously like is something. I want to see fans talk about, and I know they will. I want to see fans talk about Jordan before just a random game. Like, what did people think about going to a Bulls? Give me a random team.
Mavericks.
A Bulls Mavs game in Chicago in the middle of January. I want to see what a fan was feeling going to that game. Does that make sense?
Yeah, excitement.
Because
to
as
see
a young
Jordan, because they already had 3 titles.
Exactly. And as a Blazers fan, when I grew up, I've never seen my team win a championship. And yet
Sure.
every time I go to a game, I'm jazzed because I get to see Dame. When I was a kid, I got to see B-Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge. Like, none of these compared to Jordan, but
that stuff's all the same.
as a I want to hear what it was like as a Chicago native in the Jordan days.
It's the same thing as it was for a Portland native, man. It's,
You're not wrong.
It's excitement for a player who's not from your area,
But that's
but
what I
who's,
want to see.
who's dedicating
Yeah.
himself to making your place better. Jordan treated Chicago similar to how Dame treats Portland. They were very, I'm here, let's get it done. Except
I'm going to go play
Jordan,
baseball for a year.
Jordan got it. Well, no, that's so he didn't get suspended by the league. I hope they touch on his gambling
Dude,
shit.
I really hope they talk about
But
it.
considering he had stamp of approval on all this, I doubt they're going to really touch on it. But see, like
They should.
but if he has stamp of approval, he's not going to let that crap get out there. That's already speculation. He's not going to let it get any worse.
Yeah.
Like, but that's what I see. I believe that he was in trouble for gambling, and the league said, "Hey, you either got to go,
Yeah.
or we're going to suspend you, and it's going to tarnish your reputation." Blah 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 blah. So he's like, "Fine, I'll go. I'll go play baseball for a couple years." And then after enough time had passed, he came back because at that point, if they accused him at that point, y'all motherfuckers are either sitting on this knowledge and didn't say anything,
Yeah.
and gave him a bailout way out, or you just let it go and he's back now, whatever. But I also, basketball took a dip when he left. Basketball was good, but it was great when Jordan was there.
Yeah. And basketball took a dip when he went to the Wizards.
It took a dip when he went to the Wizards.
And so, I mean, neither of us, if I'm wrong, correct me, but neither of us are saying this series or anything is going to show us anything bad or
It's not. It's going to be pro Jordan. See, what you were saying is you didn't want to see it be super pro Jordan.
I did not want to see it.
It's going to be, though.
But I don't care if it's super pro Jordan. I just don't want it to be all pro Jordan. I know that was super loud for you people in your earphones right now, but I'm trying to emphasize that like no athlete today is untouchable. None. Because
But that's purely because of the time.
no, you're
Any
right.
athlete today,
You're right.
30
you're right.
years ago,
Yes. Exactly.
they're untouchable. Someone
Exactly.
could be.
And I want to see at least a little something that shows a weakness in Jordan because he was. And maybe he wasn't weak in this time because he was a generational athlete. He was talent before they thought it could have been there. He was talent that we had never seen before.
Yeah.
However, he's human. I want to see him. I want to see something about maybe the gambling, or I want to see maybe something about how him and an assistant coach actually did not get along at all.
That would be kind of
You know what I mean? Like the fact that they won 2 championships together, but Jordan couldn't stand a dude.
I can't
like,
wait to see about him fighting with Steve Kerr.
I don't know like exactly what we're gonna see, and that's the beauty of this is that you guys are gonna see the first 1 and 2 episodes when you're hearing this, but you won't have seen the last 8. We don't know what we're gonna see here.
And next week we'll talk about episodes 1 and 2.
Exactly. We every week that this is out, we're gonna talk about it, and we don't know the extent we're gonna talk about it because we don't know what we're gonna see. But this is something that we haven't seen before because Jordan is the biggest athlete that a documentary like this has been released on.
Jordan's presenting us with his grace again.
Okay.
He did it in the 90s, and he's doing it now.
Shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna let you go there, but you are right. And what better time for this to come out
than when we're sitting at home. Dude, I heard a bunch of companies, Netflix and Hulu and other things, that have like proprietary shows that they're expediting them all to get them out during this time because those ratings are going to skyrocket. And movie theaters are
Ozark.
pushing everything back.
Well, movie theaters, we're kind of moving on here a little bit, but movie theaters have actually Fandango, I believe.
Fandango.
You can watch movies that are in theaters and or just released for a price online.
Really?
Yeah.
Check that out.
It's so cool. I watched 1917 that way. And it's $20, I think, which is kind of steep to like
to watch
rent
a movie. Yeah.
But if you think about it, if you're gonna take you and your wife to a movie, it's gonna cost you about that much anyways.
Yeah, $10 per person.
Yeah, and
if you rent it, you just have a couple people come over and everyone watch it and chip in.
Yeah, chip in, exactly. And I think what's really interesting about it all in general is that this Jordan documentary is free.
$3.
Unless
it's technically not. If you don't have cable,
it's not free.
Then you can't get ESPN. And if you don't have Netflix either, then you can't get that. You're gonna need to find someone.
But you don't have to pay any you don't have to pay for
anything extra. You don't have to get ESPN Plus or anything like that.
If you just have Netflix, obviously you're paying for that, but you can watch it there.
Yeah.
If you have just cable, you can watch it there. And this is something that was rumored to be released on ESPN Plus,
yeah,
which,
that's how it started.
in my opinion, is the biggest piece of bullshit I've ever seen.
There's some good stuff on there, but I'm not going to pay for it.
No, and
the package of
especially
Disney,
right now,
the package of Disney, Hulu, and ESPN Plus is a great deal. But just ESPN Plus by itself, I'm off.
I'm gonna disagree with that because I hate that they're putting stuff on ESPN Plus now that we used to get as just like regular news. And I know, as someone that gets a lot of their news from, I'll admit, like Twitter and like my phone, I'm upset that articles that I used to be able to just read and get information from, I now have to pay for.
Dude, welcome to being old.
And I don't. And
the world is changing, and it sucks sometimes.
And I don't know. Well, what I'm trying to get to, though, is that like this information that I want to read about, I don't necessarily care to pay for.
I don't care about it. Like, I used to read draft profiles on ESPN.
Yeah.
And then now I'll go on there and be like, you have to be an ESPN insider. And I'm like, not even going to read it.
I don't care. It was more something.
I'd rather just not know than pay you money to know.
Bro, you just nailed that on the head. And that's that's literally my point I'm making, is that it bothers me that I can't go read an article to educate myself on sports,
dude,
without paying for it. And it's not something I can argue, but I'm saying that people are lucky that ESPN isn't putting that on just ESPN Plus, because I'll admit it right now, after all the shit I just talked about, I would pay any amount of like subscription money, like within reason, obviously, to watch this Jordan documentary.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are going to start a Netflix subscription and cancel it.
Yeah,
real quick.
There was a lot of people that were willing to start ESPN Plus memberships
to do this.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people that were willing to do it when they released the Kobe stuff, all like the detail stuff.
Yeah.
Like there were a lot of people who were willing to do it then. Yeah, it's one of those things, man. Like I remember when I was young, you used to kind of watch what was on. There wasn't a ton of television options. And then all of a sudden all the options started to pop up. And then next thing you know, well, the internet came out and people started getting a voice. It's quote Jay and Silent Bob, and people use that voice to bitch about movies and TV.
Yeah.
So people started complaining about, why can't I get my entertainment now? And now people want their entertainment now. So this whole subscription thing started. It became a big deal. And now it's going to start taking things from you that you normally used to get for free. Yeah, we used to watch 30 for 30. It was on ESPN all the time.
All the time.
And now you can't watch any of them, except for the new ones occasionally.
Yep.
And they aren't even really releasing new ones. I think most of the new ones are going straight to it. But
yeah, and I think, we've beat Jordan with a dead horse as far as society is today because of LeBron. And we've on this, but I want to at least, I'll ask you one more question. I have it on top of my head, but my final thought on this whole thing is that Jordan isn't who Jordan is and what his play was shouldn't be new or surprise us. I just want to be surprised in some way.
Yeah,
is that fair? Is that fair? Like for me to ask, especially as a young player who didn't get to watch Jordan, I want to know something new.
There's going to be something on here that you didn't know, but there's not going to be anything that you really didn't know. Did you know Jordan was a fierce competitor? Yes. So are you going to watch him be an asshole to somebody? that's going to be new for you to see, but is
Yeah.
it going to be new information?
Yeah.
No. You're not going to learn anything new about Jordan from this. You're just going to see things you never saw. So if you're looking to really be surprised, if you're looking to go, oh my God, Jordan ran a kitten farm
Yeah.
and was big into animal charities and things, like, you're not going to learn that. That's
Exactly.
not coming out.
Yeah, no.
You're just going to see some things that you never saw, and you're going to be
Yeah,
happy you saw 'em.
and as long as I find something that surprises me and there's a decent amount of content that we haven't seen,
Yeah.
because if ESPN is just using this as a way to get money and they're just going to show us all
Little bit.
highlights,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I'd be pissed.
You'll kind of get the tone after episodes 1 and 2.
Exactly.
You'll know
Now,
what it's going for.
You know, I don't want to continue to beat this dead horse, but one thing that I kind of mentioned on earlier is that Jordan was the king of sneakers before he really realized it. And
Yeah.
something that we talked about last week was that the DNP pack.
Yeah.
Did you score on those?
I did not.
I didn't either, honestly.
Yeah.
I actually entered for him. I didn't think I was going to get him, but I didn't get him.
Yeah. Did not.
But speaking of packs, I saw this thing and I sent it to you. I feel like Bleacher Report Kicks put this out. It's what's your favorite sneaker pack? Very interesting
Yeah,
because
I like
packs
it.
have stories, just like this Jordan documentary.
Yeah.
Everything has a story. I'm gonna read you these 12 packs, and I'm more curious because I haven't ever bought a pack. If I'm gonna be honest with you,
Sure. I bought a couple of them.
I want to just hear what your thoughts are on your favorite packs that I'm gonna read to you and why. And I'll give you mine, but I don't have as many. But I want to hear yours. All right, here we go. So you got the 4 wins pack.
It's a LeBron 10 Soldier and Kyrie 2.
Yep.
With
All
the
right.
gold and the translucent outsoles.
That was the pack I believe that came out after they beat the Warriors.
with the Cavs.
Yep.
Yep.
The back-to-back pack.
Curry Under Armour pack. Curry 1 and I don't know if it's 2 pairs of Curry 1s or if it's Curry 1 and a Curry 2.5.
It looks like different colorways of the Curry one.
I think it's different colorways of the Curry 1. Yeah, I think there's a base gold and a base white. Home and away.
Yeah. So.
Not on board. Off
Yeah.
of it entirely.
What about the Atmos pack?
Atmos pack, it's a Jordan 3 and an Air Max 1. I'm off the Jordan 3, dying to get my hands on a pair of those Air Max.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that shoe. Oh, love it.
We'll get into it.
But,
We'll
that's a dope little pack.
You save it. All right. Golden moments.
Yeah, that was a 6 and a 7 and a white and a black. Gold accents, kind of reflective of the 4 wins pack. You know, lots of kind of a tradition here is when you go a playoff pack, you
Black
go
and
gold.
black and white. Great pack.
Yeah.
The countdown pack.
Taxis and bread 11s, or sorry, taxi 12s and bread 11s. Decent looking pack, classic.
The LeBron 10 celebration.
LeBron 10 high and LeBron 10 low. Dude,
Isn't that
dope.
LeBron a mid? It's not a high.
I say high because they make mids nowadays that aren't really mids, and they make highs that aren't really highs. So
That's fair.
like, it's tough. It's the LeBron regular and LeBron low.
I'm just looking
is
at
the better
this-
way to phrase that.
I looked at the regular version as you
Yeah,
could
it's just
say.
the LeBron 10 and then LeBron 10 low.
I'm just looking at it. There looks like maybe an inch difference in the height, and I'm like,
Yeah.
is that really a high?
It's not.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
not.
I just want to make sure we're on that. So you have the Kobe pack. Everyone knows about the Kobe pack.
Kobe 3 or LeBron 3 and Jordan 3 and Jordan 8.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have the New Beginnings pack.
Which is the Jordan 1 and then the Airship. The Airship
Yep.
shoe. Yep.
So then you have. So we got 4 more here. We got the Beginning Moments.
Ooh, the yellow Jordan and the red Jordan 1s.
The Raging Bull.
Jordan 5s, a set of them, black and red.
The Infrared pack.
White and black with infrared. Red.
And how could we not forget and end on the Defining Moments pack?
The Define Moments pack, which is a 6 and an 11 in black and in a Concord.
And just because of the recent release, and we've already talked about it, I'll add the DNP pack.
Well, they just released the one shoe. from
Yeah,
DMP.
but
they
let's.
just re-
but
they
it
just- yeah.
originally came out in like.
Yeah, sure.
So let's just add that. We don't need to talk about it, but
Sure.
just for the sense of it being released. Now there's 12 shoes here or 12 packs here. I'll start with mine because I don't have a lot of information. I love the 4 wins. I remember watching them playing those shoes.
Those are cool shoes.
I thought that Kyrie was actually really cool.
That
'cause
Kyrie's
it's
slick.
all black, but the strap is purely gold. And
Midsole's gold and the outsole's icy.
yeah, it's icy, and that's I hate to say it, but it's an icy shoe, man.
It's an icy shoe.
It's an icy
It's dope.
shoe. The LeBron with that. I consider this my favorite performance pack in this because
Sure.
you're not going to wear these for style. These are basketball shoes.
100%.
And black and gold is never a bad.
Never a bad choice.
This is hard for me because the Taxi 12s and the Countdown pack is really easy to go to. However, I'm going to say the Golden Moments. I hate these. I don't wear these shoes.
You don't wear 6s and 7s?
I don't wear 6s and 7s, but it's such a clean pack.
Yeah.
You can't go around with a black shoe, and I believe that's a gray tone, but it's a lighter tone. And these,
It's a white. It's a white.
it's a white,
Yeah.
but I don't know. To me, it was just a clean pack. You can't go wrong with it, and also it wasn't as much, I
Yeah.
believe, as the Countdown pack or the Defining Moments pack. So you're getting a good shoe with a decent price.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Now let me get into you. I have 2 questions for you. I'll start with the first.
Sure.
What pack do you, top 2 or 2 packs do you think are actually overrated here?
Overrated?
I want to hear the overrated packs.
The Kobe pack is overrated.
Okay. Why?
Because of the 8. The 8 is trash. The 8 is a bunk shoe, man. I don't care about the 8. The 8's ugly. All those straps on top, they're freaking boots, man.
Yeah.
There might as well be Tim's, dude. I'm over it.
Wow.
The 3 is dope.
The 3 is
the
really
8
cool.
ruins the pack. The 8 makes it not worth the price of
Well,
the pack.
PJ Tucker even said that he wants the Kobe pack for the 3s. He doesn't care.
Yeah,
about
nobody cares about the 8s, man. The 8 and the 9 are probably the 2 least concerned with Jordans of the original 12,
Yeah.
or 14, I guess. But no one really cares about them. Second most overrated is on this list is the Curry pack, dude. Ain't nobody caring about Under Armour shoes.
I'm
man.
gonna make you pick something else because no one gives a shit.
All right, so if I have to pick something else, then I'm gonna go with the New Beginnings pack.
Okay.
Everyone wanted that Jordan 1. No one cares about that ship.
No one cares about the ship.
Yeah, no one cares. Everyone wanted that one. It's the first time they released a white and red one.
Yeah.
That's pure white and red in a long time. No one cared about the ship. That pack sits for so much on like StockX and things like that purely because of the 1.
If I'm gonna be honest, I don't like the 1. I don't like the way they put red on the shoe. Now it's a great looking shoe.
On this one.
On this,
I thought when the way you
exact-
said that is I don't like the 1. And I'm like, whoa.
No, people.
Yeah.
Don't come at my head. I know I might have said that wrong.
You don't
but
like this one.
the New Beginnings 1.
Yep.
Let me
Gotcha.
say that.
Gotcha.
Just because the red on it I don't know how to describe it.
Dude, this is what he was allowed to wear.
Yeah, and it just isn't.
That's the key behind it, is that this is how his shoes look for a
shoes
long
look,
time.
and it just isn't a good looking shoe.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion.
You're allowed to have that thought.
Okay, now my next question is what pack here? You can only pick one. If you could pick a pack to be given to you, what pack and why?
By who?
It doesn't matter. You don't have to pay for this pack.
LeBron 10 celebration.
I love it.
Dude,
I love
those
that.
LeBron lows, the multicolor with
And
the Watch the Throne accents, all over it.
Let me tell you one thing here. You're not allowed to resell it. You have to keep
I'm
the
not
shoes.
planning on it.
Okay, good.
Not planning on it. I'll keep both those. That
Good.
LeBron 10 was one of the when I started getting into basketball and basketball shoes, that was the shoe that was out at the time. I did not pay him enough attention. I did not give him enough consideration. I regret that decision. That shoe though, that low, that green based low, so gorgeous.
So good.
So gorgeous.
And what I loved about this shoe is it was a good shoe.
yeah.
A lot of these shoes that come in packs or that are hyped,
One good one bad one, or something like that.
Well, it's one of these things where it's either a really good performance shoe, but it doesn't look that good. But
Yeah.
you buy it because of what it is, or it's a really good looking shoe, but when you played it, it was shit. But
Yeah.
you buy it for what it is.
yeah.
This shoe was great, and LeBron
Fantastic.
loved it. Everyone that bought it actually ended up, not the pack necessarily, but the 10 in general. People ended up buying every minute in them.
I would have
And-
picked the Atmos pack if I could sell those threes because I could care less about
Yeah,
them. But
I know.
But I thought about that when you asked me. I was like, man, they're being given to me. That means I'm keeping them.
Exactly.
It's which 2 pairs do I want?
And
it
that's
was
kind
that
of what
one.
I was getting at, because obviously if we had all the money in the world, we could buy these packs.
I'd pick my way through them except for the Under Armour one.
Yeah, I don't even know why that's on
Why
here,
do
if
you
I'm going to
put
be
that on
honest.
this? They sat here and put a Curry 1 in the same breath.
I was going to say, can
As
we
these other
acknowledge
shoes.
that that's the only other brand that's not at least
Well, yeah,
Nike
I mean,
related?
I say Nike related. Yeah. It's trash, man.
They don't even have like a hard
and only 2 of these packs are Nike. So of these 12, you have
Yeah.
1 Under Armour, 2 Nike, and 9 Jordan.
So this is gonna be like kind of a backwards question here, but it has to do with a pack. What pack came out? Not came out. What pack did you almost score on when we started working at the employee store? Because they were sitting there. Do you remember that?
Fuck, man, the MTM.
That one, dude.
The MTM. It was
we
a
add that pack?
Jordan 29
Yep.
and a Jordan 1, but the Jordan 1 was an entire Flyknit upper. It wasn't like the Jordan 1 Flyknit that has like, overlays that are leather and things like that. It was pure Flyknit, top to bottom.
So
it was weird. It was like a sock.
So now that you described it, I'm gonna kind of tell a little story here. So Parker and I had kind of done rookie camp for 2 days.
Yeah.
And the next Sunday was Air Max Day.
Air
And
Max Day.
We've talked about how we worked for Nike during Air Max Day and yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to get into it. But Parker and I went to see at the employee store because we were working there. We went there to see if they had any cool Air Maxes in or
You
whatnot.
never know what they're going to have.
We walk in, and at the time, I'm fluent in Nike, but I'm not
You're not quite there.
I'm not quite this guy's level.
Yeah.
And he just freaks out at this ginormous box.
Blue box, yeah.
And if I'm going to even go even further, I didn't even know packs were a thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's how
Most
much
people don't.
That's how much I've come onto the scene since 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He starts freaking out, and I'm like, bro, you need to chill out. Like, this is too, like, I didn't even realize what I was looking at. Looking back on that now, wild that those were even there.
Dude, they had them in every size but
mine. Yeah.
I should have just bought the 14. I should have just bit the freaking bullet and did it. They actually, I think, had a 12.5 too. I should have bought them, dude. I didn't do it. The problem was that at the time, I was really big into playing basketball. So I wanted to play in that leather pair of Jordan 29s.
Yeah.
I really wanted to play in them. A 12.5 was not going to cut it. So I needed my size.
So for what I'm understanding is the Jordan 29 had a great outsole. The grip on those shoes were fantastic.
They were fantastic shoes all around. Yeah.
However, I don't like the look of them.
Eh.
And so when you open that, what I'm trying to get at though is when you open that box, I was like, this dude needs to chill out. These are ugly. But then when I've kind of gotten more into shoes,
You learn more about them.
looking back at that, I'm like, oh my goodness, those were just there and we could have gotten them.
So the 28 was when Jordan decided to kind of rededicate themselves towards what's it called? Towards performance shoes again.
Yeah.
The 28 was fantastic.
Yeah.
The 29 was like a continuation of the 28 with a little less crap going on with the whole shroud and things like that. And they just made a fantastic shoe. The 28 is historically one of the best traction shoes. It's right up there with the Kobe 9 and things like that. The 29 is right in that wheelhouse. It was perfect. And they did it with that new engineered, upper that they could put different prints on it and things like that. It was just a real big deal. But those two shoes, that pack, man, yeah, I remember going in there. I remember seeing it. I remember tripping balls. I remember harassing coworkers because it said there was a 13 in the system, but they couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I'm like, where the fuck is this pair? I want them. I want them now. Like, I was getting like aggressive with people over these shoes, and then I think when I realized I had a problem.
Yeah. I hear that. And I'll kind of, like I said, I've never bought a pack. Maybe someday I can get one, but I think packs are so unique, and I just kind of want to end it on that, just kind of based on, I love the fact that you can look at a pack and you have a story behind one shoe. And I'll bring up a shoe you picked, the shoe that I loved, the shoot, now I can't think of it, the pack with the Kyrie and the LeBron.
Yeah.
I love that one just because of everything that team overcame, but the look of the shoe was so good. And you need to learn how to appreciate that. And
You really do.
I don't think packs come out enough, so when one does come out, it should be talked about and just kind of analyzed. And
They really do not come out with enough packs.
Yeah.
They do it every once in a while. And a lot of times they'll release things separately. It's like they just released like the Air Max 1 and the Huarache packs where they flip the colors on them.
Yeah.
But they released them as two separate shoes.
Not like an actual pack.
Not like an actual set. So it's like, I don't want to buy both shoes for $140 each. So
Yeah, and no sneakers are really worth it unless the person buying them loves them.
yeah.
But I feel like what's so cool about these packs is that like it's hard not to love at least one of the shoes in them.
Dude, there were a lot of people. They came out with a penny pack a couple years ago that was like a foam posit and a penny, and people came in and they swooped them up. And next thing you know, on all the sneaker sites, I'm seeing all the pennies for sale because everyone wanted the foams. No one gave a shit about the pennies. Everyone
Yeah.
wanted the foams, and it's like that's
And-
how most packs are, though.
Yeah, and that's how most packs are. And even that Curry pack, dude, it's a weird looking shoe. No one gives a.
I played in the ones; they're nice.
Don't get me wrong.
buying
It's a
that.
great shoe, but no one gives a shit about it.
The pack
And
was like $300 too for 2 pairs of Under Armour. shoes.
Under Armour.
You were like, nah.
nah,
You ain't that guy.
it still is a cool thing to analyze because
And it's cool to have looking back.
exactly. And Curry's legacy almost makes that shoe what it is because without Curry, no one I think is paying attention to Under Armour because the
Yeah.
next biggest athlete is either a golfer in Jordan Spieth or
Yeah, no one cared.
quarterback Cam Newton.
Yeah, no one cared here in America.
Exactly. And so you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
so without that pack is at least big and it's really cool.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, that's all our show for the day. If you guys want to reach out to us, you can find us on Twitter at SneakShowPod, or you can send us an email on Gmail at sneaksandsports@gmail.com. AJ, got anything else?
Wash your damn hands.
Wash your damn hands, people.